Hey, welcome to another edition of Kyle Meredith with. It's the interview series presented by WFPK at WFPK.org. Consequence and the Consequence Podcast Network. Thank you for making your way here, for checking out the episode. I do hope you hit that subscribe button. I do 3 new interviews just like this one every single week, new and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So it's a great way to keep up with your favorite artists, discover some new ones. You can get us anywhere you get your podcast from as well, including Spotify, Apple Podcast, NPR, WFPK.org, Consequence, or right here on YouTube for the video versions. Anywhere you get your podcast from, you can subscribe to Kyle Meredith with. That's me, Kyle Meredith. Today, I'm going to be talking with actress Claire Forlani and actor Jon Tenney about Cruel Intentions, the TV series out now on Prime. Now, Claire, of course, one of my favorites, especially her movies of the 90s, Meet Joe Black, Mallrats, The Rock, just to name a few. Jon Tenney, he's got a hell of a resume as well. You know him from shows like he was in The Closer, he was in Scandal, he was in Beverly Hills Cop 3 and Tombstone. We're going to be talking about this series. Now, the whole thing, it's 25 years after the iconic film captivated audience with its provocative drama, sex, and scandal. This series introduces a new class of cruel characters who are ready to take their games and manipulations to a whole new level. In the new adaptation of Cruel Intentions, we follow the elite students of Manchester College, a Washington, D.C. adjacent university where reputation means everything. Fraternities and sororities are the gold standard, and 2 ruthless step-siblings, Caroline and Lucian, will do anything to stay on top of the cutthroat social hierarchy. So there's that. If you've seen the movie from the 90s, you can completely understand the concept, or the books that all it was based on. Or I'm actually going to be talking with Claire and Jon all about the story and their relationship either to the movie or to the books or anything like that. We're going to be talking about their characters and this society that they're playing around in and what it says in the modern day and what it has said in the past. And I'm also going to ask about some of their other projects as well. Claire was in Mallrats. Kevin Smith has been trying to get Mallrats 2 made for a while, so we're going to see if we can get an update on there. Jon recently appeared in the Sex and the City spinoff and Just Like That, so we'll talk about that a little bit and a whole lot more. So let's get into it. We're talking Cruel Intentions, out now on Prime. It's Kyle Meredith with Claire Forlani and Jon Tenney. Hello, you all.
Hey,
Hi.
consequence. I love that.
Consequence. I think it's a negative term, but we've just made it a positive term.
Good.
That's what's going
Do
on.
it.
I love seeing both of you all pop up on the screens anytime, and this is no exception. It's great seeing you guys in this Cruel Intentions series here, which looks to be very playful characters for the both of you. I know it's an obvious spot to start, but were either one of you, like, how tuned in with the original movie were you, and does that even weigh on you all when you're picking a role?
You have the best answer to this.
Well, I haven't seen Cruel Intentions,
There you go.
but
Have it like
I have seen Dangerous Liaisons and Marquis de Sade with Geoffrey Rush, so that was my reference point.
Yes, and I did not read the original novel written in 1782, Les Liaisons Dangereuses. You like that little date I threw out
Love
there?
that.
But I did read the play and see the play that was adapted from that and the movie of Les Liaisons Dangereuses. And I did see the 90s film Cruel Intentions.
How
So
was it?
it was fantastic.
great.
It was great. It was great. I was a little bit older than the key demographic, I think, but it was great to be. I think it's sort of the fact that there's been so many iterations of the story is a testament, I think, to the timeless nature of these themes that it explores, these power dynamics, and revenge and sex and coercion, control. So that was really, as an actor, that was exciting. That's makes for very good drama. And so it was excited to be a part of all that.
Yeah, it's such an interesting story to keep readapting, especially when you look at every era that it's sort of played around in, as you say, in over now hundreds of years.
Yeah.
But to see these people like thinking like, is anyone good? Is because even the good people, are making the wrong choices
But they're
as
all
they go along.
dreadful, aren't they? Except his son. They're all just
Yes.
dreadful. But then you think about back in my time when I was a kid, there was a show called Dallas, and everyone was dreadful in that. But you were just so into them because again, it was this world that was totally unrelatable. You know, the wealth, it was in Texas, it was on a ranch. And this is sort of the same thing, the
Yeah, it was
wealth,
this
the world,
elitism
yeah,
and
it's set in a college. And also being British, I didn't know anything about sororities. You know, that's like a completely American thing. So that's cool.
Yeah,
right.
it's funny that you brought up Dallas because my reference point when I was thinking back was also in the '80s with Less Than Zero, and
Oh yeah.
you
The
know,
excess of that.
The
Yeah, the excess of
drugs.
Less Than Zero
Yes.
and yeah, it was
Yeah. Or Succession.
mhm.
Where nobody's likable in Succession, but the whole thing is that you understand how broken everyone is. And this is the same, you know, the Cruel Intentions has the same thing in the sense that everybody's broken. Why are they behaving the way they are, right?
and I think it's really lasting because I think there's a kernel of real truth about all of these motivations and power structures that are going on, but then they're taken to the extreme. And and so I think that's fun to engage with as an audience. You want to lean in. You're like, oh, if only I could do that, or oh, I want to, see somebody taken down. That's exciting, trip to take as an audience member. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
exciting, certainly exciting to act those things.
I would expect so. And John, for your character to be a congressman, I mean, from when I see you online, like you stay pretty plugged into politics. Like, do you bring any of that into a character like this?
Well, I mean, I think it's always interesting that, because one of the main themes is, power and the power dynamics and the being a political figure is obviously in a position of power. But for me, the headline of this guy, Congressman Russell, was the father-son relationship. Even outside of the politics of it, I was really interested in this relationship that father and son has, and the fact that the congressman will go back to parents' night, and you get to see a little. He really wants to tune in with his son, and that was something. Not only was it interesting to me, but I was surprised by where they took it, because I think you make certain assumptions, and I don't want to give things away, but you may think one thing and then it reveals itself to be something different, and that was refreshing, surprising. I thought very smart with what the writers did. So that was, to me as an actor, exciting.
Yeah.
Claudia didn't want to see her child ever.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Well,
With the yin-yang.
Claudia actually was actually leaving before she saw her child.
Right. I was going back.
Yeah, the yin and the yang.
I couldn't stop hugging my son.
Yes, and
But there
I
still
found
is
it
a
hard to
dynamic.
tell.
Yeah, there still is a dynamic, Claire, with her and your stepson, in this, and there's an interesting thing happening in the movie Zeitgeist right now with a woman and the younger guy that's been going on. I've
But
seen
I
that
feel
a lot.
like we've taken it to a whole new level, don't you?
Whole new
haven't
level.
haven't quite seen our scenario yet, though, have we?
Have to tune in.
It's not just older woman, younger child, younger
Yeah.
boy.
We got there. It was there. How do you want to play her though? Because there's a little bit of a coldness to her, but there's this determination at the same time. I can't tell if she's oblivious to her own situation.
No, well, when you read a character like that, and for as an actor, and you understand that, when a character like that needs that amount of power and control and
Attention.
and is dominating on that level, obviously to understand your character, you need to make your backstory, and for me, that degree that Claudia has can only come from fear. To have to be in that much control and to have to use her daughter as an extension of her, because obviously she's narcissistic. So she treats Caroline with the brutality in which she treats her, herself. She has the same standards with her. Lucian's her stepson. He's not, so he hasn't been in her life his entire life. So there's more manipulation, more seduction to get him to do what she needs. But ultimately, where does that come from? That can only come from fear, right? To have to control on that level, because you don't ever want to be vulnerable. You don't ever want to fail. You don't ever want to lose. So that's kind of where it gets grounded. But obviously in a show like ours, it's great. It's great fun to play that degree of awfulness. I mean, she's utterly dreadful, but I really loved her.
and they may not can change, and that's great for us as an audience. That
And
if they,
Claudia helps you understand why Caroline's the way she is and why Lucian is the way he is. You know, you see the trickle down.
And it's smart. That legacy of narcissism is really
Yeah.
It's a good thing to explore.
He
these
said
days.
that. Don't let the show. I did not say a legacy of narcissism.
Didn't say that.
No, that was all him.
again, I just love seeing you all every time you're on there, and outside of the show too. John, seeing you pop up and just like that. And I was thinking, by the way, and I know that was a few episodes, but those boyfriends, they just keep coming around on that show. So I'm wondering if we'll ever get a chance to.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Those are good moments like that. And Claire, I'll ask you quickly too. Mallrats 2?
Yeah.
Is it gonna happen or not? Because this seems like the hardest time that Kevin's ever had putting one of his shows together.
I have no idea. What do you think? What are the odds?
Oh, I would love for it to. I mean, he says everybody's coming. Do you think you'll come back for that one?
Yeah, well, I had the phone call and I was like, sure.
I'd go see it. I'd definitely go see Mallrats too.
What would Brandy look like now? What would she be doing? Working in the mall, perhaps? Yeah.
That would be fun.
Divorced, no doubt.
But that's what we talk about when you've got characters like the Kevin Smith, or when you've got characters like Cruel Intentions. Like, these are people that just make the worst decisions in the best ways possible. Like, I don't know what you all look for in characters, but I feel like this is the fun stuff right here.
Exactly. It's juicy.
Juicy, dramatic, conflict,
Escapism.
all of those things. Yeah.
It's proper escapism, isn't it?
It is. I love this so much. I want a million seasons of this. Again, thank you all so much for doing what you do. But seriously, thank you for taking the time to talk about it.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Yeah.
And thanks to my guest. Also, thanks to you for checking out the episode in the series. Before you get out of here, hit that subscribe button. Again, you get 3 brand new interviews every single week. New one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at right here on YouTube, or of course anywhere in podcast land, including iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, NPR, or WFPK.org as well. A great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover new ones as well. Then after that, actually head over to WFPK.org. That's where I do a show Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's an hour full of song premieres, music news, anniversary spins, bonus interviews, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern at WFPK.org. Consequence has your music and film news. You can also find me on the social media spots, Facebook, Instagram, mostly on Twitter. All 3 of them, the address is at Kyle Meredith. Do hope you like and follow along. That does it for another edition. I'm Kyle Meredith. I'll see you next time.